Hey guys, my name is Gary. I am a alcoholic and drug addict in recovery. Still sober. I don't know, almost, well, I'll have 7 months in 2 days. So what do you know? I mean, that's a fucking miracle. You know, I was hopeless. Anybody who knew me, just fucking gave up on me, man. You know, I was just a hopeless drug addict and drunk, and who couldn't stay out of his own way, and gave up on life myself. I had one little sliver of hope when I kept praying to God whenever I remembered, and it was for about a year and a half. God, please just make me willing to try, just to try. And one day, after about a year and a half, I'm not sure, you know, when you're fucked up, it's really hard to tell time, you know. It was at least a year. Because I remember having my house at the time, and I lost my house and my business through the COVID thing. And it got bad for me, you know. I was using needles, and I was deemed hopeless by anybody who knew me. And I was praying, God, please make me willing to be willing. And I was driving from Houston to California to go stay with my parents. And what had happened was I ended up getting COVID in El Paso. So I'm like, got a fever. I'm fucking like, you know, this fever's like you're just like ready to almost hallucinating. I mean, I was so sick. And I remember laying in my truck and borrowed some money and stayed at a Motel 6. I don't know how many days. I mean, I'm thinking like 4 or 5 days, right? And I remember getting up after 4 or 5 days of coming in and out of like consciousness and probably detoxing. You know, I was using amphetamines, you know, I was slamming amphetamines at the time, and I remember I had a whole bag of them, and I had a whole bag of crystal, and I was detoxing, and after about 4 or 5 days, I woke up and I was like, you know, I'm feeling pretty good right now, and holy shit, I got 5 days sober. And I didn't feel great, but I felt like it was good enough. You know, I was like, you can do this. You can get to California without dipping into that bag. You'll be in good shape. And I was a guy who'd stay up for 5, 6 days, driving trucks and doing all kinds of shit and working, doing business, and with very little sleep. So I drove the rest of the way to California, from El Paso to California, which is, I don't know, 12 hours or so, 10, 12 hours. And just pulling over every few hours and just nodding off, just catching some sleep, and then, you know, wake up after 20 minutes or an hour, whenever I felt good enough to get on the road, and I'd take off to California. Started feeling better. And one thing that I did realize was God answered my prayers, because I had an inner strength about me. Just having that 5 days. Here goes my cat. He opened the goddamn closet. I'm gonna fucking kill him. Okay, so now he's locked in the closet. So, it was like I had this inner strength. Oh no, he's here. This inner strength about me, and Bob, come on, man. So, I'm sorry, Bob. I'm making a video, dude. So I had this inner strength about me, and I realized there was a difference, you know. And I don't know why, but it grabbed. It hooked, and I was hooked. So I got to California, and then I started calling my sober friends. And I didn't really have any friends. I had women I banged and people that did what I was doing. So I didn't really have any friends. And all those people, I just got to tell you right now, I talked to none of them. I talked to none of those people in my old life. Not because I'm like some judgmental fuck and I'm like, yeah, fuck them, they do drugs and they drink and stuff. Just because I just really don't have anything in common with them. You know, I have zero in common with them. And, you know, every once in a while I'll talk to somebody in that life or whatever, and it was like, you know, there's nothing there. It's a life with no substance. I was living a life with no substance. And I got to tell you, even though it's a mundane life I lead now, and I have a job, I make good money, I'm paying people back, I'm self-supporting, I run big projects at work, I'm learning about myself, my behavior is much better. I don't have to worry when I look in the rearview mirror and there's police lights going by or something. I tend to my friendships, and my friendships before is like, what can I get out of this person? You know, it's not what can I do for them. It's like, what can I get out of them? My friendships today are really balanced, and with men and women. You know, I've got great friendships right now. Friendships where we tell each other what's going on in our life. I was on the phone with one woman today, just, you know, her and I do this thing kind of every day together, and she's been like my new best friend, you know, in Sobriety, and she, you know, it's a total straight up relationship. I've mentioned it before on these videos, and she's a married woman, and her husband's a fucking great dude. Him and I just hit it off right off the bat, and you know, definitely a guy I could spend all day with. I mean, you know, talking about music, playing music, and she's the same way. I mean, different interests, right? But so I call her today, you know, because I was going through something at work, and you know, and I'm not going to get into details, but she had the greatest advice for me, and you know, it was like I was grabbing onto it with every word. She's a powerhouse in the business world, so I listen, you know, because God put this person in my life for a reason, you know, and I help her too, you know, and that was how the relationship started. I wanted to help her, and look at now who's helping who, you know what I mean? So it works both ways. So I'm on the phone with her, or you know, I leave her a message. She leaves me a message right back right away, and she's like, gave me the greatest advice, man, and I took it, and I had a great day. You know, I was worried about me and my behavior, and you know, I'm gonna leave it there. So, the reason I leave it there is because I'm not going to get too deep into, let me just tell you, I have no problem telling you about my personal life and all that stuff, and you're going to hear a lot about it, but I'm not going to create wreckage, and I'm not going to stir up shit, about clients or about anything at work, you know, stuff like that. I get really close with stuff at work, but I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. So, you know, because I don't know who watches these. I don't know who will ever see these. Probably nobody, but, you know, I'm just going to be, you know, smart about it. So I take this advice, and knowing, you know, me, right? I'm me. So, and it's a competition. Life is. So I was like, God damn, that was awesome, you know. Fuck, man, like, she's like doing this way better than me, and I don't like it. So, there's a little, I'm being honest, there's a little part of me that's like, you know, that wants to beat me up for not being smart enough, right? To go, well, why is she doing it so much better than you? And you know what? I've been around long enough to where I know I'm going to be on the other end of the phone in this relationship and helping her. So, because we're both fucking nuts. We're both fucking nuts, and I wasn't in the barrel today, but I could have been. I could have been if it wasn't for her help. So, and then I was on the phone with a guy with 30 years, prior to her, and talking about my defects of character and stuff. So I love AA. I love being sober, okay? And there's people who do sobriety without AA or without mention of AA. There's a woman, and I'll shift you over to her videos. She's cool as hell, man. She's a young woman. She just took a year, Danielle Saavedra. And, man, I watched some of her videos, and she broke down some shit on her 1 year birthday, man. On her, she's just turned 1 year old in sobriety. And I don't know how old she is, probably mid-20s. And has a little kid, and I know she's married. I've never talked to her. I mean, we've shot messages back and forth, but I don't know her, but I love what she's doing with her channel and her time. She's out helping people, man. And she's being honest. She's cutting it loose from the inside, like I am. She was talking about, some damage that was done emotionally to her. And I don't know if it's just her, women, women deal with feelings and emotions more in depth, I think, sometimes than men do. I think, and, from what I see, they're a lot more organized than we are too. And she was talking about, like growing up, like we've all had some damage done, whether somebody, whether our parents think they were doing damage to us or not. Maybe some damage occurred, right? They were loving us the best way they knew, and they fell short on some occasions, and it damaged us. I know I've got those things with my kids, things probably that I don't even know about, things that, there's certain things that I do know about, right, that have been brought to my attention, and then there's those things where maybe they don't want to fucking talk about them, or maybe they don't even realize it, or whatever, I've done my share of damage, drinking and using. And so she went through all that stuff, and for more of like you could tell she's working on herself psychologically, and digging in the dirt to find the places we got hurt, and we can rectify those, and becoming self-aware, and same stuff I'm doing through step 10, right? Self-awareness, through the inventories, and then I take that stuff to God, and so she's doing it a different way, which is cool, and I think that's fucking the best, right? But I gotta say, for me, I gotta still remember that I'm alcoholic, and no matter how much digging in the dirt that I do, because I went through 7 years of in-depth therapy with this guy, and he was like my best friend. He's gone now, but we found a lot of shit about my past and all that stuff. I still drank again, and when I drank, it was fucking, I was insane and out of control. It's once it's like being pregnant. Once you're pregnant, you're pregnant. You can't fucking remove alcoholism out of you once you got it. And there's a lot of science behind it. A lot of us are born alcoholic, and a lot of us become alcoholic. And I've known both in my life. I've known people, I think I came right out of the womb alcoholic. I think I was born different. And when they when they do like a sonogram or an x-ray on an alcoholic's brain and a non-alcoholic's brain, they're different. They're different. There's a lot more red in the frontal cortex of the alcoholic brain than there is the normie brain. So whether we create that or whether we're born with it, only science will find out, right? And maybe they have, I don't know. I haven't heard. But it doesn't even matter, because that self-awareness is good to have, and it makes you more comfortable in sobriety, and it helps your behavior and all that stuff. And the more you correct your behavior, the more you become self-aware, the more you're comfortable your life is, and the less likely you are to drink or use drugs. But you're always going to have that allergy. You're always going to have that addiction problem. So you could become self-aware, go through therapy for 10 years, be abstinent from alcohol and drugs for 10 years, like I was, and then take that one pill and off to the fucking races, man. Off to the races you go. So, I'm a firm believer, for me, once I got it forever. I'm never going to be non-alcoholic. I'm never going to be a non-addict. You know, I'm an alcoholic in recovery. I'm a drug addict in recovery. I'm never going to be fully recovered. So, that's it. And, you know, so that's my cross to bear. Big fucking deal. There's people that got it a lot worse, you know. So I was going to make the, you know, and I could still do this video on, I don't even know, I started turning, once I start talking about me, it's fucking all over, guys. So, I was going to do it on step 11, and step 11 suggests prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. So that's a personal thing, you know. That's up to you how much of that shit you want to do. There's fucking gurus and yogis that want to fucking meditate for all day and all that shit, and that's more power to them. And there's people that like that, and they're not out in the business world trying to fucking, you know, make big money, and they have different goals. You know, their goals are more, you know, towards peace and finding their zone and helping others and all that stuff. Me, I try to keep a balance of like business and then helping others. So that's where I'm at right now. That may change. So it's a personal thing. How much prayer and meditation do you want to do? Right? So it's up to you. It's kind of like the thing I was talking about with Danielle Saavedra and her, you know, doing the psychological, you know, digging into the psyche and the past and where have I been harmed and all that stuff. So the more you do that, the more you become aware, the more comfortable you get. And it's the same thing with prayer and meditation. If I don't pray and meditate, I'm fucking nuts, man. Okay? I am just, you know, I'm nuts anyways. I could pray and meditate and then try, you know, the next 20 minutes later, I'm trying to drag somebody out of their car because they cut me off. So it's getting better though, you know, it's getting better. You know, I'm at 7 months in, I'm calming down inside. The more we do this stuff, the better we feel. And I had a little bit of a jump because I had 10 years of sobriety before. So I'm going to have a little bit more of a jump than the guy coming in off the streets. He never had AA or whatever, you know. And you never know. I mean, to compare is all bullshit because that guy could be so cooked and done. He just is in full surrender. You never fucking know, okay? So I shouldn't even compare because it's a foolish thing to do. But I want to win. So you know, the prayer and the meditation is going to make you more comfortable. It's going to, your day, when I take God into my day and I'm God conscious, when I'm God conscious and I take God into my day, fuckheads keep calling me here. I go, when I enter a problem, so if I pray and meditate in the morning, a lot of times I'm on a real time schedule on the way to work, so I will, this morning I got grounded. I was up super early this morning, and you know, I was at work at 5:30, but I was up hours before praying and meditating and watching some good shit on YouTube. And I got in the shower and I was kind of thinking about, you know, that positive stuff going into my day. And I had a real busy day. It's been really busy at work, so I've got a lot of this chaotic stuff going on at work. And I'm a manager. I've got to keep my cool through this stuff. And if I start getting chaotic with everybody else, or with, contractors or stuff like that, then shit starts getting chaotic. But, we got a good team at work, and that helps a lot. So, and we're a real close knit group, of three guys that we handle the commercial division real well together. We all know what we want to do. We all know what we need to do, and we're led by one guy, and we all know our place, and it works good. And my boss is a great guy. My boss is open to suggestions, man. Like, I suggested something today, and he was like, "Yeah, you know what? That is, I see your way, and that is better. I think that is better. So let's do that." And I see his way a lot, and I got to tell you, because I do this thing, because I do prayer and meditation, because I do the digging in the dirt, I'm able to look at stuff. He's been doing it. I don't know who's been doing it longer. We've both been doing it into the 30 years mark, right? I listen to what he's got to say, and I play around with it in my head a little bit, and if I come up with something different, it's not to one up him. It's to just life will go easier if we do it this way, type thing. And I listen to what he has to say, because he knows what he's doing. He's been there a long time. He's been there 20 years. I've never been anywhere 20 years. I think I've been with Bank of America 20 years. And I think I saw that the other day on one of the statements or something like that. I was like, God damn, that's the longest I've ever kept anything. Yeah, that's the longest I've been a member of anything. Anyways, I love this thing we do. It's helping me, it's making me better, and I'm able to help other people. A lot of other people, more people than I thought I'd be helping at 6 months, 7 months sober. So, to wrap up step 11, it's just, do you want to be comfortable in your sobriety? Take the time, put the time aside. All I do is maybe 5 minutes a day, and I should do more. And I'm sure if I did 20 minutes, I would say I should do more. It's one of those things that once you do it and you start to see the benefits of it, I mean, these are true life-changing benefits that happen when you do prayer and meditation. You get thoughts that pop into your head that are like, wow. And they came directly from prayer and meditation. And they're just thoughts that are better for your life. They're better for others. They make your life flourish. They make other lives flourish. They're thoughts from God, from the realm of the Spirit, from whatever you want to call God, from clearing the mind from the fucking chaos that's swimming around up there. It's a popcorn machine. I call it the popcorn machine. Da, 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 da. And when it's going off, it's pop, 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 pop. And when it's settled down, right, it never is just totally quiet. It's all, I've got it to be like pop, 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 pop. But I can never get it to just... I can remember a couple times in my sobriety. One time I had 30 days of sobriety, and I was into serious meditation, right? I had no fucking idea what I had done. What I was doing, I just knew I'm going to sit quiet. I'm going to cross my legs. I'm going to keep my hands on my knees, and I'm going to try to get into a zone. And I went, boom, right into the zone. And I saw, my eyes were closed, and right in the center was this bright light, right? I had no idea what it was at the time. And I was transfixed on this light, and with my eyes closed, this beam of laser light, right? White light right between my eyes. And I was just transfixed on this thing, and I was going, holy shit, this is amazing. And I was completely clear. And then I read about that, and I read about the third eye and finding your zone and all that stuff. And I experienced that bliss that they talk about in guru meditation, right? And I'm no fucking guru. You guys know me by now. Like, I'm just a regular Joe. But I got to experience that. And I don't know how long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago I was doing it. And I don't know I never looked it up or anything. I don't know anything about, you know. But I had a red light, and it was red, and it was same kind of effect. So it had the same kind of thing. But my mind wasn't completely quiet, but I saw that red light, and it would be there, and then it would fade out, and then it would come back and fade out. And the more I cleared the mind, the brighter the light got, and the more distraction I got from inside or out here, like with the cat meowing or something like that. That light would dim, and then it dimmed out and it was gone. I don't know what that is, but it's what it is. It's cool experiences while meditating is what it is. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. Those are cool things that happen when you meditate. You never know when they're going to happen. But mine happen when the mind gets real quiet. And I have to meditate in order for that to happen. So it doesn't just happen on its own. I have to. There's certain things that I've learned, right? And this is a great thing. Breathing is number one, okay? So you close your eyes. You don't ground out your fucking body anywhere. You get in a very relaxed position to where you're not going to fall asleep, but a relaxed state, and you breathe, okay? And as the thoughts come in, picture the thoughts coming in through the right side and leaving through the left. So, I think of the Ferrari, and the Ferrari goes out. I think of the girl in the bikini, and that goes out. I think of my dog, it goes out. I think of the problem at work, it goes through. Think of, whatever. And then slowly, those thoughts get slower until maybe no thoughts at all. And if you can get 30 seconds or 10 seconds without anything coming through this side and going out that side, man, you're getting close to bliss. So if you're an alcoholic of my variety, because this motherfucker never stops, I have to really work hard at that stuff. So I'm 27 minutes into this thing, and so I'm going to wrap it up, but it's a personal thing. Prayer, your prayers are your prayers. They name them in the book, the 3rd step prayer and the 7th step prayer. Okay? 3rd step prayer, my Creator, I am now willing that you should have, 3rd step prayer, God, I offer myself to Thee, to build with me and do with me as Thou will. Relieve me of the bondage of self, so that I may better do Thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those that I would help. With Thy power, Thy love, and Thy way of life, may I do Thy will always. And then the 7th step prayer, my Creator, I'm now willing that you should have all of me, the good and the bad. I pray that you now remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows. Grant me strength as I go out from here to do your bidding. Amen. And then there's the serenity prayer. And somebody brought this up to me the other night. And it's funny, they were both atheists. And I was talking to them in an AA meeting. One has 25 years sober, one has 30 years sober. And they don't believe in God. And that's okay. We were talking about that in depth, and we had a good conversation. And we could not agree and still love the hell out of each other. But he brought up, he's like, what works for me is the serenity prayer. And the serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's a powerful prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I can't change a fucking thing. Okay? I can't even change me. I go to God for that change. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can. My prayer, my connection with my higher power. That's what I could change. I can go to God with all this shit. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, me and the whole world. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, my prayer, and the wisdom to know the difference. I can't change anybody. I mostly can't even change me. You know? So what a great prayer. I'm going to wrap it up. That's 30 minutes. Remember, you guys, please subscribe if you made it this long. I doubt it because it's a long-ass fucking video. And I don't know. Maybe some of you guys listen this far. Subscribe if you did. And email me a message or shoot me a message. Subscribe and, let me know. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot, or yeah, you're awesome. Let's talk back and forth. Let's talk sobriety. I would love to do that. There's a handful of people, a couple handfuls of people I do this with via email. If you want to keep the conversations private, let's talk, let's chat. And Danielle Saavedra, congratulations on your 1 year, and I hope you get 2 and 10 and 20 and 30. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Remember the Impact Foundation, la.org. Go on that website, check it out. It's started by a friend of mine named Vicky. She's a human energizer bunny, and she just doesn't stop, doesn't sleep. She just puts all her heart and soul into building this foundation and needs your funds in order to get this foundation to grow its wings so it can fly. And when it flies, it's going to fucking take off and help people. You guys, please check out that website. If you like what you see, hit the donate button. Until next time, thanks.